happy to be able to talk a little bit about a local group here in Rim Country, Veterans Helping Veterans, and with us to let us know a little bit more about what they do. Ambassador Chuck Marinack is with us. And first of all, Chuck, thanks for being with us this morning. We appreciate it.
I appreciate you having me on.
Now, first of all, for people that aren't familiar with Veterans Helping Veterans, can you give us like the Reader's Digest condensed version? What's this all about?
All right, we are a 501c3 organization, and we provide advocate services for veterans. We also do PTSD, group therapy. We will help veterans with their claims. We will drive you down to the VA to get you your benefits. We also walk you through step by step on how to get your benefits. We provide transportation free to all veterans right here in Payson, Arizona.
That is outstanding. And you know, the PTSD thing, having done a couple of decades of disaster relief work in various countries and working alongside our military, I've always been, I think a good for instance is Haiti after the earthquake in 2010. There was a bunch of guys that I think it was 82nd Airborne that were coming back home after being deployed in the Middle East and got sidetracked, so to speak, got sent down to Haiti to help with the relief effort there. And you could just really, in getting to know these guys over the course of a couple of weeks, you could really get a sense that they were glad to be out of where they were and glad to be, doing something that can just be helping for the greater good. I mean, I was really inspired by these guys, and a lot of them, excuse me, did talk about some of the scars that they bring back that are invisible, and that's a big thing for our veterans.
Yeah, we meet every Tuesday and have coffee and free donuts at the Overcomers Fellowship Church up there on Easy Street, and it's an open forum for veterans to talk about what they did, and we have a lot of Vietnam veterans, and there's some sad stories that I hear from them, and being spit on, called baby killers and stuff, and we just welcome them in our group and say thanks for your service.
Yeah, beautiful. Now and we have a lot of veterans here in Rim Country.
They tell me there's close to 4,000 veterans up here in Payson.
Wow, that's a big number.
Yeah.
By the way, as you're listening in this morning, if you feel like you'd like to watch along too, you can go onto Facebook and just look for KRIM FM on Facebook, and we're also streaming the audio and video there this morning. You can also look for KRIM FM on YouTube, and you'll find our YouTube channel there where we're also streaming there. Now, Chuck, you have a number of different things going on. Now you mentioned you get together for these, I guess just a chance to kind of, I was not going to say unload, but I mean a chance to share with people that have been through similar things,
Mm-hmm.
and that certainly would be helpful with the PTSD thing. But you got a lot of other stuff going on too.
Yeah, since we're a nonprofit, we do fundraisers at least 2-3 a year,
right,
to help our organization, because we rely on our Payson people to help us out. One of the fundraisers we have is coming up September 26th at the Rim Country Barbecue, and it's an event to help all the veterans. Our money goes to transportation, gasoline, services. We just bought a new building and we are going to be moving into it. Our grand opening is on October 11th at 11 a.m. and everybody's welcome to come out there.
Where's this new building?
It is 600 East Highway 260, Suite 10. It's behind Tiny's Restaurant.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so we just moved into that, and we're going to have our grand opening October 11th.
Nice. So that's something good to look forward to. Now, you mentioned that you raise money, and obviously this all costs money to be able to provide these benefits for our veterans. And you have another fundraiser coming up.
Yeah, on September 26th, Rim Country Barbecue. Everybody come down, silent auction.
Oh, silent auction too.
Yeah, and you're welcome to come down there and have some good barbecue and help the veterans out.
And they do have some good barbecue right next door.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
Gotta love it. Now and so you'll have a silent auction. There'll be a number of different ways that you can help support this.
Yes, you can go to our website at vhvinc.org and donate money for that, or come down to Rim Country Barbecue and support the veterans by giving donations or buying a raffle item or help with our silent auction.
Nice. And again, that's VHVINC, as in Veterans Helping Veterans Incorporated.org.
Correct.
VHVINC.org. And now, again, with new facilities getting ready to open up over there next to Tiny's and the strip mall there, that's exciting. So you'll have and this is where you're going to be like having your meetings and things like that with a lot of the other vets, where they can come together and just share their experiences and things like that. All of that's going to be going on at that one location.
Yeah, about 4 years ago, 2 people started this, and I was helped out by a guy named Rich Kudlicki, otherwise known as Shaggy. He's a 6'8" biker up here in town. So he helped me out, and I said to him, "How can I repay you?" And he said, "Just pay it forward." So I joined his team as the ambassador, and I do all the PR work for him.
Oh, nice.
So right now we have 10 people in our group, all the way up to a psychologist. We have people that come in and volunteer to drive people down to the valley and pick people up here locally for their appointments.
Oh, to get down to the VA Medical Center and things like that?
Yep, down in Phoenix. Every Wednesday we go down there.
Makes sense. And I'm still kind of taken aback. I mean, that you're talking about, there's like 4,000 vets right here in Payson. That brings into perspective. And a lot of these people they're not really all that terribly, I hate to make blanket statements about anybody, but our veterans typically don't make it a habit, generally speaking, of complaining a lot about some of the things they've been to. Most of them tend to be pretty quiet about that, at least to the general public.
Right, that's why we do this coffee time on Tuesday mornings at 8 a.m. at the Overcomers Fellowship, so they can come in and just talk.
And they know they're talking to people that have been there and done that and been down that road. Because it's got to feel pretty alone when you don't have that kind of group to be able to visit with.
I just met with a guy this morning who moved down from Prescott. I gave him my card. He had no idea we were here and what we do. And we're going to get together and we're going to help him out with his benefits. And we help people with relocating, housing,
Wow.
all kinds of things up here.
And when you mention, that helping people with their benefits, I would imagine, like a lot of things with our government, that there's a lot of twists and turns to some of this, and it's probably difficult for people to get up to speed with some of the benefits that they're rightly entitled to.
A lot of people don't know about their benefits. We actually have a booklet about what we do up here to help our veterans, and we hand this out to everybody. And it's a guideline on what you are due because of your military service.
Well, that's huge. And what an amazing thing for people to get behind and support, even if you're not former military. I mean, we all have a huge debt to repay to our military men and women. I mean, they've definitely stood in the gap in some very trying times, and it's easy for us to I think kick back and kind of take the freedoms that we have for granted at times. But as a 501c3, now and correct me if I'm wrong here, but you can not only accept donations, but these are tax deductible donations that people can make.
Yes, that is correct. Go to our website at vhvinc.org, click on the donate button, and help us out.
Gotta love it. And now, how long has this group been in existence, the 501c3 itself?
About 4 years up here, and I've been with the group about 2 years now.
Right.
And we went from 2 people to about 45 people that we're helping out on a daily basis.
And when it comes to the monies raised, I'm assuming that there's always more that can be done than you have the support to handle.
We have 2 vehicles now, an 8-passenger and a 12-passenger vehicle. The 8-passenger has over 111,000 miles. I just took that down to the VA on Wednesday. So yeah, we need some money to help for maintenance, tires, gasoline.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to, especially this time of year, you don't want to break down between here and Phoenix. That would very that fits. Now some of the other things that people can get involved in supporting, I mean, it sounds like you do an awful lot of different things for our veterans.
Not only do we help them with their benefits, we also do things like support Patriot Day, which is coming up at 9/11. One of the key supporters here is our Mayor Tom Morrissey.
Right.
He comes to our coffee group. He helped set up the Patriot Day. He actually did a proclamation, I'm going to show you here, for 9/11
Right.
to help all the veterans and first responders that support everyone up here in Payson. So we're proud of Tom.
Well, Tom brings up a very important thing, and we've all said, for 20 years now that we will never forget, and we need to work at remembering sometimes. And this proclamation reads very simply, whereas we join the nation in observing the 20th anniversary of September 11th, 2001, when the United States suffered the worst terrorist attack ever on our soil, and in remembering the nearly 2,977 innocent people who perished, including 343 firefighters, 72 law enforcement officers, 33 sailors, and 22 soldiers. And whereas we honor the brave first responders and ordinary Americans who showed extraordinary courage to save others that faithful day, and whereas we express gratitude to the courage and brave members of our armed forces who, in the aftermath of the attacks, fought for the defense of our country, many making the ultimate sacrifice to defend liberty and freedom. And whereas that tragedy will forever be carved into the pages of our nation's history and will always serve as a reminder of America's tremendous compassion, strength, courage, and unity in the face of adversity. And finally, whereas the town of Payson thanks and supports our law enforcement, firefighters, EMT, and U.S. military men and women for their service in the past, present, and future to save lives, protect, and defend their country. Therefore, Mayor Thomas Morrissey, Mayor of the town of Payson, do hereby proclaim September 11th as Payson Patriot Day. And what a wonderful reminder. I mean, because it was, we certainly, we think about all the veterans who worked overseas, since then, the last 20 years in Afghanistan and elsewhere, but also our firefighters and police and other first responders that responded that day. What a horrible day, and one that we need to remember.
Absolutely. So come down to Green Valley Park on September 11th at 9:30 in the morning, and we're going to have a little get together, and you'll see what veterans do up here.
Now, you've also got something coming up, Rim Country's first annual Payson Stand Down. What's this all about?
We did that on Friday, July 23rd.
Oh, that was on the July. Okay.
Yeah, I was the chairman for that, and what we did is we probably got about 24 vendors to come in and help with dental, vision, medical assistance.
Right.
We provided haircuts and free meals for all veterans up here, and that was a pretty good success.
Did you have a pretty good turnout?
Yeah, yes, we did. We helped about 5 veterans who weren't experienced in the how-tos of getting their help.
Right.
So, yeah, it was a very good success.
Outstanding. And again, if you want to find out more about either how this group can help you or how you can help this group, again, you can go online and read more at vhvinc.org. That's VHV as in Veterans Helping Veterans Incorporated, vhvinc.org. And of course, you can always, contact them via email too at moreinfo@vhvinc.org as well. And now you mentioned, early on here, Chuck, that these folks helped you, and so you wanted to figure out what you could do to help them, and they've just told you to pay it forward, and that's what you've been doing. How long had you gone without the kind of assistance that this group provides?
I got out in 1981, didn't know about any veteran services. Moved out here back in 82, and nobody ever said there was a VA out here or how we can help. So until I moved to Payson, that's when I ran into Shaggy.
Very interesting. And now what branch of the military were you in?
I was in the Air Force for 4 years.
All right. And it's amazing that you basically commit so many years of your life to the service of our country, and after getting out, you still, no one had told you that, hey, there's other benefits that you could be tapping into. I mean, that had to be kind of an eye-opening experience for you.
Oh, it was. It was hard to find a job. It was hard to get any services. So I just took for granted that I'm out now. Let's go find a job.
Right. And so when it comes to people that, maybe are just out of the service, or maybe like you didn't realize that there was any, some of these different benefits that they could tap into, are there, different services that help them find work and things like that as well?
Yeah, we'll help you find a job. We'll help you find housing up here.
Wow.
If you need to be put up for a couple nights, if you're transitioning, we'll help people on their way to Washington.
Mm-hmm. We'll
We'll put you up at the Warman Center on the 260.
Right.
Get you a free hot meal and a bed, and get you on your way. We'll buy you a bus ticket if you need to get up there and see your parents or whatever you need.
And this has got to be, when it comes to active duty, there's an awful lot of focus on having each other's back. And when you get out, and it sounds like when you first got out, you were kind of all of a sudden all on your own. So this has got to be, it's got to not only be good to be able to, realize that there are these services available out there, but also that you can be a part of helping get those to other people that, like yourself, didn't realize those benefits existed.
Yeah. After 4 years of being in the military, I got out, and I'm like, now what am I going to do? So I went back home. Got back there in the middle of November. My dad said, your shovel's downstairs, start shoveling. I'm like, this isn't for me. So I called up one of my buddies from the Air Force who lived in Phoenix, and he said, come on out, I'll help you out. And here I am.
Now, where back east were you at?
I grew up in Pennsylvania in a small town called Steelton.
And it does snow back there a bit.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, me and shovels don't get along either. I must be allergic. I break out in a cold sweat. So now, again, this group has grown in some pretty significant numbers for just a small little place like Payson. And you're getting, again, the time to get together and have coffee and talk is on Tuesdays?
Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. at the Overcomers Fellowship Church on Easy Street.
Okay, and you don't need to, arrange ahead of time. You can just show up?
You can show up, you can come every Tuesday, come every month, whatever you need to do. And Mayor Tom Morrissey, we let him speak. And he's a U.S. Army veteran himself.
And let's see, the church that you're talking about for the Tuesday morning thing, that's at the corner of Easy and Sherwood. Okay, so again, that's just east of the Beeline Highway going off Sherwood, and right at the corner of Sherwood and Easy Street. You'll find it there. And that's 9 o'clock on Tuesdays.
8 a.m. Tuesday morning, free coffee and donuts.
Gotta love it. Gotta love the donuts. All right, and again, if people want to find out more, again, you can go online, check out the website at vhvinc.org, or you can shoot an email to moreinfo@vhvinc.org. Chuck, keep up the great work. I think this is a wonderful thing that you're working on here. Is there anything else that we haven't covered that you think people need to know about with regard to what you're all working on?
Besides the free coffee and donuts, we also do free CPR classes.
Wow.
We also do benefits. We have a benefit coming up September 18th and 19th. It's called Home Run for Vets. It's going to be at Rumsey Park. 7 o'clock Saturday, we get a home run derby. You'll hear me there. I'm the MC of this event.
Oh, cool. And so this is a home run derby, and is this baseball or softball? Or
This will be softball.
Softball, okay. So you got a slow pitch, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Good. That makes sense. A lot of people will be involved in that. So then whoever gets the most home runs wins what?
Oh, they'll get a trophy and probably a free beer.
Oh, there you go. Gotta love that. At least there's a free beer involved. And now you also were featured at the recent world's oldest continuous rodeo here just a week or so ago too.
Yeah, we had what we called a Patriot ride, and I was honored to be in the lead plane and fly over the rodeo at 7 p.m. that Saturday night. So cool. that was very cool, being up in that plane with a bunch of veterans.
And neat that the veterans are being recognized for what they did. As you mentioned earlier, it was a little bit of, actually a lot more than a little bit, but it's just a travesty how some of our returning vets were treated coming back from Vietnam and things like that. And with everything else that they had to go through there, then, they kind of don't feel like talking about, their history because maybe somebody will give them grief about that. It's got to be a good message all the way around to see our veterans being honored in that way at something like the rodeo.
Absolutely. I mean, we do other events up here. If you go up to the casino, we just raised a flagpole
Right?
up there by
That's a big flag.
Yeah, up there. It was an 8x12 flag donated by Art Share of the Elks, and we had 130 school children come up there, all with little flags waving around. It was a pretty cool thing to honor the vets that way.
And probably something that those kids are going to remember for a long time too, and that's an important thing.
Yeah, absolutely, because what we want to do is we want to instill patriotism up here in Payson. A lot of people don't know why all the vets get together. It's a
Right.
camaraderie.
I bet, yeah. And now, and as it pertains to this, there's no, I mean, if you, have been active duty, were discharged yesterday, you qualify to become a part of this.
Absolutely. Any veteran can call us up. Our phone number is on the website, and we'll get you an appointment and we'll talk about what you need and what you deserve.
I love it. Okay. And again, that website is vhvinc.org. VHV as in Veterans Helping Veterans, inc.org. And you can also shoot an email to moreinfo@vhvinc.org. Chuck, again, thanks for coming down. Keep up the great work.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me in.
And thank you for tuning in and listening this morning to Community Spotlight on KRIM. Going to get you back to more of your favorite music. Have some tunes coming up from Leonard Skinner, John Lennon, the Rolling Stones, and a whole bunch more. But first, a quick look at Rim Country weather.
That was awesome.
Just like that. Boomity boomity
I
boom.
love it. Yeah.
Brian won for Labor Day today.
Well, the cover is